memorial for 7-year-old Oliver Nephew, who was killed in a murder-suicide last week in Duluth, is growing tonight. Dozens more stuffed animals and toys and flowers surround that free toy library the first grader built for children in his neighborhood. People have placed the items inside totes to keep them safe from the rain. Oliver and his mother, Kat Ramslin Nephew, were killed Thursday, along with Erin Abramson and her son, Jacob Nephew. Anthony Nephew killed his sons along with their mothers before taking his own life last week. Duluth Public Schools will hold a candlelight walk this Wednesday at 6 p.m. in honor of Oliver's life. That walk will take place in his neighborhood between the two homes of those victims.